Hey there, friends and enemies. JoPaWrites here again, and today I wanted to talk about Season 1 of Diablo 4 because there's a bit of controversy brewing in the community after some recent information about how the Season Pass, the Battle Pass, is going to actually work. So if you missed it, the only way to progress the Battle Pass is going to be through seasonal characters. You will not gain any progress on your Battle Pass on your Eternal characters, whether it's hardcore or standard, and that has some people who probably didn't play Diablo 2 and Diablo 3 a little bit upset because they weren't fully aware that the Battle Pass is going to be linked to the seasonal characters. However, if you've been playing Diablo for a while, this is something that probably doesn't come as much of a surprise to you because when Diablo 2 and Diablo 3 progressed, the main focus is going to be on the seasonal ladders, the leaderboards, all that kind of good stuff. And that's really the end game for Diablo 4, right? Where your main goals are going to be, one, get a hardcore character if you want to go that route to level 100, get your main character to level 100, and then after that, you're going to create different characters every single season to progress the Battle Pass, but also challenge yourself, see how far you can take it, try out the new systems, because oftentimes what they introduce is some different types of enhancements or systems that buff certain characters or play types, and so it does change up the game a bit, make it a bit more interesting, and I think it's something that a lot of long-term Diablo players would be looking forward to. However, because there's a lot of more casual, mainstream attention on the game right now, I think a lot of those folks were not really aware of how Diablo seasons work, or if they were assuming they would still make progress with the Battle Pass on their main characters who they probably have not leveled up all the way at this point, so they can continue working on their Eternal character and still see that progress on the Battle Pass. And I kind of see that point. I think it would have been nice in order to do that because I know personally I'm about to create a hardcore character, and if my hardcore character for the first time would have counted for the Battle Pass, I probably would have waited and done that a little bit later once I'm getting the progress of the Battle Pass, and I could have continued leveling my main as I am approaching World Tier 4 on that character. I have a couple others that I've worked on as well, just to test out some builds in different classes, all that kind of good stuff too. So it's an interesting thing. I do think there's a level of stagnation with this approach, though. I do think that there was not enough innovation thought of when heading into Diablo 4 Season 1. I wish they would have thought of a creative solution in order to satisfy more play styles than just the seasonal players. Because I do think there is a barrier to entry for Diablo 4 for those players who are just your casual, just want to sit down, play for a couple hours every day, and maybe get some progress on the Battle Pass, who would still have purchased it, but now probably is not worth it for them because knowing they have to create a new character when they might have just beat, like the main campaign, they might have just actually progressed to get level 50, to get to World Tier 3, and so because of that, I think there's going to be a lot of folks who are losing steam with the game a little bit sooner than they might have otherwise. And that's really unfortunate because I do think this game has immense potential for the future. The seasons, I think, personally, are going to be very fun, and I'm looking forward to them. And I'm excited to see what they have in store for us with the Battle Pass. They also said that there will be some new story content in the seasons as well, which I think is a first for Diablo 4 and something that I'm also looking forward to. Although the main narrative beats won't be really seen outside of expansions. So once we get a new expansion, that's when we'll see something like new story beats, new class possibly will be available, whereas the seasons won't have that big of a change. Although the one thing I'm most curious about is how the meta will change with each season. I'm hopeful that they do enough to really kind of change things up, because I feel like by the time Season 1 hits, everyone will be looking for something new and fresh to play. And there's a lot of things I know as a sorcerer main that have been just a bit underwhelming and just not really as viable as other options. And I'm hopeful that as the seasons go, we get more of those options that are underutilized now become really, really powerful in the future. So I'm looking forward to that. They have announced that there are some balance changes coming in the future. I hope that there's more buffs than nerfs, to be honest, because I feel like there's more underwhelming things and just a few things that really shine more than others. But honestly, I'm very excited about Season 1. I think there's a lot of potential for it to be very, very fun and very good. But I do wonder if this explanation on how the Battle Pass is going to work is going to be enough for folks and push some people away from the game. I think those types of players might have left anyway, so it maybe isn't the biggest deal in the world, to be honest. And the controversy seems like a non-issue going forward because either you're going to be playing seasonal characters or you're probably not buying the Battle Pass anyway. So it's almost a little bit of manufactured outrage at that point, because I can't see a lot of people who are paying for the Battle Pass not at least trying out seasonal characters or testing out the new content within the seasons and all that stuff. Like, that's the whole reason to play the new season. Otherwise, you can just continue playing your base character forever with no changes, right? Some of the changes to the alternate characters are going to come into play, but there's really no need to completely change and make a new character in a season if you're not going to get the Battle Pass, and vice versa. And I think that's something that people have to keep in mind as they're discussing this. It's just been a very interesting time. I've seen a lot of talk about it on Twitter, and I found it fascinating because everything seemed very obvious to me and very straightforward on how it was going to be handled. I was just kind of surprised by the wider community reaction. So I'd love to hear from you guys. How excited are you about Season 1? Is it something that you're really looking forward to? Are you going to be playing Season 1? Are you buying the Battle Pass? Are you going to wait and see? I'm actually looking forward to the reveal of the Battle Pass as well, personally. I can't wait to see what type of cosmetics and everything are available, because I do think after looking at the store for Diablo 4, there's a lot of potential there for really cool stuff. After equipping my character with some of the different armor sets that I've unlocked with the transmog, that's all very cool, and I love the variety that we've gotten so far across different characters. So I'm really looking forward to how that's expanded. And what if we get like a really cool, like almost like a mythic skin in the Diablo 4 Battle Pass? That would be insane as well. But we'll see. I'm hopeful. I'm really excited about it. I think some of the complaints, like I said, are largely overblown. But anyway, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Helps me out tremendously. Shows you want to see more Diablo 4 content. I haven't blown through things as much as a lot of other content creators, but that's just because I have a lot of games that I'm playing, and so I'm trying not to burn myself out. And I think that's a good way to look at things in the grand scheme of things with Diablo 4, because there's a lot of time to be playing this game. We're going to have season after season, and I'm really looking forward to all that. My name is JoPa. I hope you have a good one. I'll catch you all later.